So what is happening, everybody? We're coming to you live.
Cue the montage.
Cue the montage. Don't have one. We're not there today. We ended up having to raise the shop pad up about 36 inches up on the east side, which has caused us to need to build a retaining wall. And that's really our only options. Retaining wall, or bring in a lot of dirt and taper that side out really far, and it's just not going to look right. So I decided I thought it would probably be best if we just build a retaining wall instead of trying to make something like that look right. I don't think we'll be able to do it. So I ended up getting a hold of a guy that I found. They sort and grade railroad ties for the rails, and they ship them to all different places. They said they grade them, and then the ones that are trash, they end up getting recycled and actually used into paper. So they somehow they get all the creosote out of them, and then they use them for paper. So that's pretty interesting. Sorry, it's kind of bumpy in here. So anyway, so we bought 48 railroad ties, class 1s, and this video's project's going to be, can we build a retaining wall that's worth a darn? Like everything else I do, probably not. Anyway, I appreciate y'all checking this out. If you can, take a minute to like it, comment, and subscribe on it. I hate to ask that of y'all, but it's free, so I do appreciate it. Alright, y'all, so the audio in this clip is trash. So what we're going to do here is this the 3/8 rebar. Cut it in a way that it's going to pin each layer of railroad tie together. The railroad ties are roughly about 6 inches thick. So what we're going to do is make 10.5 inch basically stakes that we're going to drill the railroad ties, and then we're going to put 10.5 inch stakes through one layer all the way into the next layer. So about 4.5 inches into the next layer. It should never be able to move. So how we're gonna do that is I'm not gonna measure this out. I've got 3 pieces of rebar right here, and the width of this chop saw base is about 10.5 inches from the blade to the edge. So I'm just gonna grab these sticks of rebar, slide them over to roughly the edge of the base, and we're gonna cut all the way through. I ended up using 6 sticks to do this, and I think I had roughly like 10 or 12 of the 10.5 inch stakes left over afterwards. So anyway, here's a time lapse of this deal. Alright, so here in a sec we're going to get started on leveling all the dirt work so that this first row will go down right. Here's the railroad ties. So the backstory real quick on these is that these come directly off the railroad. I believe in the last video we talked about it. These are class 1 ties that the railroad had replaced, put brand new ones in. I don't understand their maintenance schedule, why you would get rid of good ties, but they seem to do it and do it often. Either way, this is what we're going to use. It's going to go over here. It's going to go right here against this wall. It's going to retain it, do all the fun stuff. If y'all can, like, comment, subscribe if you're going to stick around. We got plenty more shop building videos coming around. I know everybody will enjoy watching this thing develop. All right, everybody, so here's the new goal for today. We got to build a retaining wall here. We got railroad ties over here. We've got to make sure this is all level, straight, flat, everything. This is going to be the base for the railroad ties. If we get the first row right, the rest of them will lay down, won't fight them, no issues like that. So I've already got a string line here. It's square to the building, square to the pad, square to all that. We've already done all the measurements. So let's get started. What I'm doing right now is we're gonna build this up a little bit where we can get it perfectly flat and make it do what it needs to do. We'll get a measurement from this line down after we tamp it, and we'll see how close we are all the way across to level. So now this isn't a how-to video at all. This is how I'm doing it. Don't mean it's right. 99% of the stuff I do ain't ever gonna be right. So we leveled our string line. We squared our string line. It's been leveled, all that. So I know that the string line's a good reference point from point A to point B to point C. So what I'm gonna do is find the lowest point, and I'm going to make everything match the lowest point. This particular side right here is, this corner right here is the lowest point. So I've already dug some of this out to make it match. So roughly it's 11 inches. We're 11 and a quarter right there. We're 11 and a half right there. So I'm gonna have to backfill this a little bit. Ain't nothing. So we're at 10 inches now. 10 inches. We're still at 11 down here. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take the tamp and we're gonna tamp it. We're 11 all the way through there. So that's how we're gonna do it. We're gonna do it all the way down through there now. That's a workout. So we'll grab our tape measure now. Do the same thing. We know this side's good, so we're gonna start from there. We're gonna match our 11 inches. We're right at 11. A little high. So right at 11. So we're a little high right there. right at 11. I'm gonna do that all the way down through here. It's gonna take a while, so let me catch you when I get to the end. All right, so I got finished up with doing all the leveling, tamping, all that sort of stuff. So we're ready to lay railroad ties now. So let's look at this. So it's within a 1/16 of an inch everywhere along the line. And then I took a little 8-inch level and just verified the forward and back of it, and we're good. We're ready to go. So in the morning, what we're gonna do is, first thing right off the bat, we're gonna lay that first row of railroad ties, and we're gonna drive stakes in the ground. I think honestly I'm gonna do 24-inch stakes. I was gonna do 18-inch stakes, but the railroad tie is roughly 6 inches thick, and I worry, since I had to build some of this up 4 or 5 inches, that's only going to put 4 or 5 inches actually into the undisturbed ground. So with doing 24 inches, that's going to give me an entire foot into the ground of the undisturbed ground. So that'll be the 6 inches of the railroad tie, roughly 4 or 5 inches in most of this places along this is built up. So you take that, that's roughly a foot. And so being at 24 inches, it's going to allow it to go 12 inches into undisturbed ground. So that's what we're going to do. So I'll catch you guys in the morning.